Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So, a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Smith Tools and Purchase, Level Plain Poem, Vitali Z, Colton James, BG, Survive the Spin, Effie Patriot, Thomas van der Zander, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Sea Level Cultist, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, the name's Burley, Twad Wazzle, Jason Hornsby, J Mel's 24, Unimento, Iron 26, Endless, Retro Bill, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Rob W, Del West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Young Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
I think it's Ja, though. It says Ja.
I'd imagine that's Jardo.
Well, he's in Master B, so he's able to get in here.
Yeah, he's also in Discord.
Remember I was telling you I'm going to look at a job yesterday?
You what, sorry?
Remember I said to you I'm going to look at a job?
Oh, yeah. Flooring job for your brother.
Yeah, do you remember the price I said? It would be nice if I could get, what I say, $1,500?
Yeah.
That's exactly what the guy said to me. He gave me a price. So I was like,
Okay, cool.
yeah, I could do it for that. So I usually get more. But it's my brother, so he needs to get the apartment. I could do it for that. And he's doing all the subfloor. I'm just doing the finished floor. So he's still got to pass it by the people that own the property. So hopefully I get it. And he said he has another one. And as I was going to look at that one, somebody called that works with my brother, my other brother, doing air conditioning. He gave me a lady's number that needs flooring.
Good.
Yeah, good. Because I trust in God. I just sit back while everybody panics. I just put up my hand and say, there's nothing I can do.
What are you talking about?
Well, there's nothing I could do by panicking and worrying about it. Did everything I could do to get work. Now, I can't get no jobs in like regular places as an employee because my background check doesn't pass. But I can do flooring. So you put the word out there, and just in the right time, people are contacting me. I didn't worry and fret and pray. I just said, God, it's in your hands. Open up the door.
Fair enough.
How's things going with the mics?
Yeah, fine. I'm pretty sure I'm past about the halfway mark. I did a little video today because it's the case that I've, as I say, reached about halfway as far as I'm concerned. And that means I'm at peak mic retention, if you will. So I've churned the most I'm going to churn to reach a peak where I've got the most available to me for the least amount of money. Does that make sense?
Yes, so in a rough, like if you roughly put it together and you sell all your products, it should come out okay, right?
It's just something, I just need something to keep trickling in while we're finishing off the book. And that will be the case. I've only got £75 invested in microphones currently. But I've got, I don't know, 75 listings. Obviously, they're worth more than £1 each. So
Yeah, good. Were you happy with the progress made yesterday on the book?
very, extremely
Yeah.
pleased. Yes, got rattling through the chapters at a lick. It was good.
Listen, all I see is number 11, and I'm like, yes, let's get to 12 and 13. Because once that's done, they go through it again, it's going to be quicker. And then hearing that little bit on Eric, what Eric Dubay was, that little video he's played, it's got 9 books out there. Not one of them are going to, it's not even going to, you can't even like compare it to what's gonna hit the market. D Rose was asking if there's going to be a show today. I'm saying, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know. It's a regular day for you guys. So he says, well, today I got off, and it'll probably be a premiere no show. And said it usually happens that way. We'll see. You dropped the link. Where's D Rose?
It's pretty early.
I remember the days when the intent used to be the first ones in, especially the celestial navigation beginnings. Haven't you heard, Nathan? Celestial navigation can only be done on a sphere.
No, the sphere that's described within celestial navigation comes from measuring a flat Earth, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So to accurately describe celestial navigation, you describe it from within the sphere and describe the plotted angles that you measured off a flat plane. So no.
It's so easy to comprehend. I don't understand what the problem is, why people make it complicated. It's showing you it right there. Even in this picture you got right now on screen. Look, there's a flat plane in the center. Has to be.
So I won't be here for the first part of next week. It's my dad's funeral on Tuesday.
So that's next week.
Yeah. I'll be down there from the beginning of the week. So
Now, do you remember what the next day they said they were going to do the book? Was it a Monday?
yeah, I'm sure they can arrange to do it without me. Just this once.
Yes. No problem. Just got to open the hangout and disappear, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Now, how long does that usually go? A couple of days?
What?
How does it work in the UK?
What work?
The whole funeral. In the States, you have a couple of days for people to come to the funeral parlor. And then usually after 2 days, it's the funeral. It's the wake and then the funeral.
Nah, it's all done in the morning. It's all over and done with in a couple of hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. And that's how everybody usually does it?
I don't know, Neil.
Yeah, over
I
here
would
it's a
assume
big
so.
money grab. To me, over here it's a big money grab. 2 days in the funeral parlor, then the funeral. Every day after the funeral, you go back to the place. You got to provide food for everybody. Yeah, it's like a big money thing here.
I mean, I'm sure you could do that here, but
Oh yeah, I forgot to say Happy 4th of July.
it's just Thursday here, Neil. Or is it Friday?
Hi Nathan, I heard you talk about Rick debate and his 9 books on you, man.
Hey again, Len.
Can you hear me?
Just about. You're a bit distorted, but go ahead.
I heard you mention today's 9 books and how he's just put out a video calling for more support. Are you not worried you're going to need another 8 books after this one?
I couldn't understand that. Did anybody catch that?
You sound a little bit muffled.
I didn't understand what you said, Len. I'm really
Sorry, I'm
sorry.
using silly little earbud things and wireless things while I'm working. I don't know if you can even hear this.
Yeah, I hear you asking if we can hear you, but when you actually asked me the thing you asked me, I didn't quite understand what you asked. Worried about support, I heard.
I took one of the mountains fighting me first. Yeah, basically, today I had a video asking for more support. He's already got 9 books out. Are you not concerned you're going to need another 8 books after this one? Just a little tongue in cheek there.
Oh, I got it now.
Am I concerned that I'll need another 8 books? No. Not at all. No. One's enough.
There was one more thing as well. My missus is a deputy head for a special needs school, and I am now banned from listening when she's about because of the use of the R word. There's a lot of retards about if she doesn't like the word.
Didn't catch that
I
either.
think 10th man brought up. All right, I'll let you get on with it. Sorry.
It's a shame because I want to have the conversation with you, but just can't quite understand what you're saying.
You're on a phone? Just take the Bluetooth out and talk into the phone. It works a lot better.
You hear me? I'm not using my earbuds anymore.
That's miles better.
Beautiful.
Hello? I'll give up. Speak again soon.
We can hear you. We can hear you now. Oh, he's gone. Bloody hell.
What the freak? He said something about how he was banned for using the R word from somewhere. I don't know where.
Okay. Len,
You said his name. What was that guy's name?
Len.
Len. Len.
Yeah.
Definitely an Aussie.
No, an Aussie, did you say?
Sounded like he was Australian to me.
No,
A
he's
little bit I
British.
was getting.
He wasn't an Aussie.
English?
That guy was just a Brit.
Okay.
Man, I am so tired.
Well, when we're doing the book, it's late for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Of course, died. You're juggling mics to stay afloat and keep the mortgage paid and everything else. You're doing a show daily, and then afterwards we're doing a book. Yeah, of course you're tired.
Yeah, I am.
I'm heading to Home Depot now to look at some flooring.
Jolly good. Have we got anything to cover today?
I didn't see anything in there. D Rose is here. All right, D. How you doing?
Fall
Yeah,
asleep.
what's up? Freaking fell asleep waiting for this crap.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Now you know what's going to happen, right? Now that you're tired, a fundy's going to come and he's going to wake you right up.
It's no bad thing. Have we got anything to cover though? I don't think I can barely stay awake for the next hour, let alone rustle at something to cover.
Let me check it out.
Got stuff about World War II in the chat. Who's putting that in there?
Well, not the cover, but that was pretty cool. What was posted up there with those air thrust things that they were saying the Germans used back then. I don't know about all that, but still, to see that guy demonstrated from traveling from the amphibious boat to the ship, to the destroyer ship, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, see, Adam Meekin posted that. He would
That
not
was
post
dope.
anything that's gonna cause a strike. So he's posting it for some other reasons.
Yeah, that was pretty dope though.
What is it? Is it relevant? Can we cover it on the show?
Nah. Well, what it does is, the only thing you could do is respect to a horizontal level plane is the only way that this thing can operate, because you have to hold the thrust perpendicular to the horizontal plane of reference in order to keep yourself level, elevated while you travel across the sea level water, as he did on the demonstration. That's about the only thing that's connected to it, because you can't do that on a curved surface, or either you'd be projectiled
Mm. What he's saying is,
horizontally.
can it be played on the show? Are they saying anything derogatory, like
No,
with
it's
the
no words.
protected people?
No, it's no words, and it's not even 30 seconds long. It's probably, yeah. This is the only thing I was saying. I was just talking about that particular thing that Adam put up on there. I think it's like 45 seconds, but no, it ain't even worth covering. I mean, it's like just a demonstration of a military guy using some technology that, you know, people would be baffled with and be like, wow, that's cool. That's about it. But you got to be careful now, especially with the Zionism and all that stuff. So can't be talking about World War III and all that crap. Leave it alone. I wish I was there when McFluffer came on. Will McFluffer. The liar. He's such a liar.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wasn't didn't McDuff did he come
Talking
on
about yesterday's show.
yesterday's show?
He
Yeah.
came on, not our show. He came on.
Oh,
What's
okay.
his name? Brother Sanchez. He had to defend himself because Brother Sanchez was holding him to task by saying it's okay to be deceitful and lie.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Because the last time I saw Brother Sanchez and him even having a discussion on the Brother Sanchez show, even though Sanchez was, reprimanding him, but he was kind of being more lenient, not in that manner, more of a lenient way of, he could understand why he would think this and why he would think that and why, it's misconstrued, yada, yada, kind of giving him like an excuse for lying. But for
Yeah.
him to say what he just said,
Same
that's
show.
pretty cool.
That's the show we covered yesterday.
Yeah, that's pretty cool for him to say that. It's okay to be a liar. It's okay to throw babies in the swamp.
Well, he's gonna tie that to. The pastor's gonna tie that to when Rahab lied about hiding the spies, right? He lied. But that Caleb and freaking Joshua, right? That's what he's gonna use. But anyway, Nathan, what I was trying to say yesterday is Brother Sanchez is not using the Bible. He's using like old cosmologies that are attached to the Hebrews. So that was my only objection to it. Now I'll stand by a firmament outside of this, but not during a debate. But what the Word of God says there, that there's a firmament, yeah, I stand by that, and I believe that.
So Brother Sanchez was saying it was not a firmament?
They're saying the Bible
No,
says it is. And that's proof positive if the Bible says it is. So the bit that kind of caused a bit of controversy internally was when someone who's a Christian suggests that the Bible suggests you should prove all things, looking to the Bible for what it says from 3 sources or otherwise is still not proving all things as far as I'm concerned, but apparently that is the case for a Christian Bible literalist.
Yeah,
Well,
but he was using that out of context too. That's not what the Apostle Paul was talking about. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, I'll look at it like this. Without theology and just on the secular side on both basic levels, you got containment because we got gas pressure. How, what it is, what the material is, where it is, all that is speculative. However, there's containment. We all know that. Back to the firmament. Where it is, what it feels like, how thick it is. You can connect those two. You can connect the dots because the expression of the firmament and the expression of creation and how the firmament divides the waters, all of those in basic, fundamental, explanatory articulation tells you that there's a connection between the containment, which is mysterious but exists because we know, because we have gas pressure, and then the firmament for what is expressed in biblical and scriptures and every other Veda, all the other books talk about this thing. So that all together, even in the most basic way, explained without having to grab what scripture says this and that. It knocks out the halocentric concept.
Yeah, but the only thing with the firmament, why I wouldn't use it while in a debate, is because you talk about the waters above. Now you got to prove the waters above.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So you're going to do that. But we can prove we have gas pressure.
There you go.
Without containment, we can't breathe, leave it at that.
Exactly. That's you saying what I'm saying, Neil. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
We just don't have the same standards as bro.
Nathan, I've sent you sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've sent that message with the PayPal so you can try and understand what I was trying to say.
Try once more verbally, Len.
Check PayPal. Message contained.
Check PayPal. Oh, that's always good. Wow, you sent me $50. Thank you so much.
That came in loud and clear.
Yeah, I heard that. I can see the $50 too. That's perked me up. Thank you very much. These wireless buds are crap. Mr. and Mrs. Deputy Head of Special Needs School has banned me from listening to the show while she's about because of your use of the word retard. Oh, that's a shame. I have no issues with your use of it, but there may be a lot more like her turned off by the language. I vaguely recall 10th Man mentioned something about this. A bunch of Christians he knows not listening because of your language a while back. I don't want to censor, and I don't want to be able to listen in my attic. I don't want to just be able to listen in my attic. Can you try and use moron or dipshit? Yeah, I can, yeah. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, I agree with him 100%, but we know that.
And
Fair
Neil,
enough.
remember that's what we were talking about. Me, you, and Refractor was talking about. Even Brian, as far as let Nathan be what Nathan is, and that's what made me attracted to the show was the profound, like no filter, telling the truth as it is. But at this, but at the same time, no, I'm just saying that was one of the things that grabbed my attention. And like Mars gave you the example of the other guy, Eddie Bravo. That's why he was like, you got to listen to this guy, Nathan. He goes hard. That's one of the that's the style of how he crushes the globe, rhetoric. But on the other hand, what I was saying, like this guy is talking about, sometimes we want to share it with anybody and everybody. It's like having a great song, but the great song has cuss words in it. Then not everybody gets to hear the great music.
Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So, another massive thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley. Another massive thank you to today's Discord and Jeepers panels, and I will see you all in the next video.
There was this person called, what I think it was? And she was like, oh, you're following the show, don't you know? Nathan's a Glober. They're hiding the perfect globe proof. And she takes me to this stupid thing that happened between Anthony Riley and Nathan. And I was like, wow, that's when I knew. I'm like, wow, I'm onto something here. If I'm just coming in and people are trying to push me away, then I'm in the right place. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's how it works.
Hello, D Rose and Neil. Good day. Happy Independence Day.
What's
Who's
up?
that?
What's good? What's
Guns?
good?
Yes, Neil. Happy Independence Day.
I'm so happy about it.
Okay. How about Independence Day, Neil?
That's
Well,
more like it.
if you believe that we broke free from England and we went on our own as the America, then that's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. The UK has their fingers in everything from way back.
But I must say, Sam, D Rose, you know this too from living in New York. That was the best time in the summer. Living in Brooklyn, 4th of July. Are you kidding me? It was insanity.
Yep. Go down to the pier, to the harbor piers. The fireworks be sick. Right down on the piers. I forget what was that. What was that main road? It went one way downtown
Well, they used
in
to. It depends
Manhattan.
on where they
Main
shot them
Street.
off from. If they shot them off from the West Side Highway, and then sometimes they
Yeah.
shot them off from the East Side.
Right.
I remember one time I went there, so we see all of these. They were changing. They were changing. I don't know if they went from east to no. They changed to the west side. So I'm coming from upstate, and we see all these cops and blockades. So I'm like, all right, this must be a good spot. Pulled over, found the place, got set in. Fireworks went off. We couldn't see a freaking thing. I jump in a car and try and find another spot, and half over when we did get a decent spot. But I'm like, why would they have people there? You know what I mean? It didn't make sense to me. You don't know where the fireworks are coming from. I mean, you're talking about thousands of people just shifting to another area.
So you assumed it was on the west side and it was actually on the east side.
No, it was on the west side, but where they stationed the cops to handle a crowd,
Oh, okay.
it's freaking retarded. You couldn't see it. So we had to make a beeline, jump back on the highway, and I maneuvered, the Bronx a little bit, but I was able to freaking get into a spot where, boom, there we go. Now we could see it. You actually freaking can feel that fireworks going off. But I think it's better when they do it from the east side because you can go right into Long Island City and boom, right across the water. You're right there. Everything is right there in front of you.
Apparently, the 4th of July highest position above the plateau. Some people say that's why them two tie in together. Bit of a speculation.
Yeah, all those fireworks are going to a certain height, one deck, and you can only have that height in the flat Earth.
Yep. And they'll be dropping that back down to the flat horizontal plane vertically.
Who does the best
Yes,
fireworks
Bill.
show? NASA. Well, maybe not the best, but they do the most expensive fireworks show. When they shoot that rocket.
I'm looking around my surroundings and everything around me is leveled. Everything has, whether it's horizontal, vertical, or even diagonal with an angle, everything is leveled. Only rooftops are angled, have angled diagonal peaks from point A to point B. But everything else, every single, even the freaking golf course is leveled because how else would you be able to get a putt that won't continue to roll and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll? You'd be chasing the ball all over the place until it never stops. It can't stop if it ain't leveled. The level playing pool tables. Could you imagine playing pool? The pool table ain't leveled. Dice, hell, tables, crap tables have to be leveled.
D-rolls, that's locally flat D-rolls. What are you talking about?
Took the words right out of my mouth, Neil.
Just imagine.
Yeah, that's
just
what that
local.
Deuce guy said. Locally flat. But just think of this. Every second Baltinian says it's locally flat. So all the way around their supposed globe, it's locally flat. So what does that
Right.
say?
Yeah.
It does not say that.
Yeah, but
If you say it's locally flat, you go, okay, that's Earth's measured flat. That's not, well, Earth's locally flat all around the globe. No. If you want to present a measurement of sphericity, feel free. I'll point you in the direction of the Earth curve maths and its surface level. And you're saying, so big it's flat. Okay, so what do we have? We've got an Earth curve that needs a surface level to measure, and a surface level that's measured and justified as being so big. So what do we really have? Just a measured flat Earth. That's all that we actually have.
yeah, but if you've
Yeah, it
got
never goes around anything.
if you've got
Yes, but the
locally flat,
Baltinians.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Craig.
Hold on, Duns. Go ahead, Craig.
yeah, if you've got locally flat, then you must have an edge of that local flat. So that flat has an edge.
Okay, if you say so.
Well, it must. If you think about a raised golf, slightly raised green, it's got an edge. You can go to the edge of it, and then it will go down again.
Okay, but if you're describing a plane of reference, the going down a bit or going up a bit is all with respect to one plane of reference to describe how much it's going up or down. that is the plane of reference that we can average for sea level to describe Earth for all measurements.
Yeah, I agree. It wouldn't go down if it wasn't measurable up or down.
Yeah,
But
from a plane of reference.
My locally flat has an edge. I know we're always accused of having an edge, so I thought I'd give them an edge.
Sure, but how locally flat it actually is describable from a plane of reference that Earth can be measured from or with if you use sea level. Ergo, to say, well, it's locally flat. Okay, welcome to flat Earth. Yeah, that's right. We measure it locally flat. What's that? It's so big it's flat. So it's both locally flat and so big it's flat. It's just because it's flat.
Yeah, this is the problem. You know, these what they should be saying is, well, no, we don't measure it flat. It's a globe, and this is how we measure the curvature. It's got nothing to do with flatness, level or horizontal. This is how we measure the curve.
Yeah,
and we're going to show you and tell you what tool we use. It's nothing to do with flatness or level, because that's stupid.
Oh.
That's stupid.
No.
Flat Earth talk.
That's the current problem, though. Where they say we do have an Earth curve calculation, but when they say it's got nothing to do with a flat Earth, other than the one we measure at surface level, and it's got to be level and flat for eye level to be parallel with it. But other than that measurement of that surface level that we absolutely require to start this process, to get our height above surface level, to start calculating the sphericity, that surface level that we do measure, they can't really say that's got nothing to do with a measurement of a flat surface level, because that's exactly what it is. To believe in Earth curve maths, as I absolutely do. I mean, I understand how we'll be measuring surface level. I mean, I need to measure that to believe that it's curving. And believe I do, after we measure it flat.
Yeah, but I understand what one deck's saying. I was laughing as you were saying it because, yeah, that's what they're supposed to be doing, but they can't, because the only way you can measure anything is from a flat plane of reference. How can you measure? And tell me another way. I don't know another way.
Exactly. Yeah. I understand exactly what Nathan's saying, and that's my view on it. Also, it's great when you bring up the Earth curve calculator and ask them where the curve's being measured, because there is none. But like you say, if they're adamant that they do live on a globe and they're not just, in denial, well, they are. If they really think that they live on a globe and it's been measured, then they should be, if we did live on a globe, be able to tell us how that curvature was measured. Like Nathan's just said, the only evidence of the curvature that they've got is a depression angle between eye level and surface level, parallel to each other.
Precisely.
Which again is a flat Earth measurement.
Yeah, parallel surface level.
Nothing to do with curvature.
So we'll need surface level to be level then, and it'll be the surface. Yeah, axiomatically, we won't be having Earth curve unless we're measuring Earth flat. That's the bottom line here. They don't have to like it. Those are the facts in their belief. Sorry, our belief.
Good job, Nathan. You managed to get a nice show out of it today.
And we've got
You got fundies from the chat sticking their head in the sand saying it's not measured flat. You know, these things need to be documented.
I don't mind it. It's like, okay, well, if we don't measure it flat, well, then we won't measure surface level to suggest we've got a depression angle from the parallel eye level. We won't do that then. No worries.
I chuckle to myself. It's really, yeah. If you don't measure it flat, you've got no globe.
Yeah, you don't have to believe it's flat. we'll measure it for your globe belief, or we won't. You know, it's no skin off my teeth if you say, no, I don't want Earth to be flat. Well, then no worries. We won't use surface level and parallel eye level to infer horizons below surface level, because if we haven't got a flat surface level, we haven't got an Earth curve below it. So I don't mind if you want to deny it. That's no problem. No skin off my teeth whatsoever. What's that? I haven't answered your questions. Yeah, and your house is being painted before mine? What's going on?
Yeah, you have to throw out your ball. If you listen, you're gonna throw away the measurements, then you're throwing away your ball. But what was that quote by Refracted when he was getting frustrated in the debate that time? What did he say?
You guys need a flat Earth more than we do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Never a true word has been spoken. It's like when you hear things like that, it just like registers like, holy shoot, they do this. Nothing can be done without it being flat. Nothing.
You know, I spent some time on just texting some ball, just going through the Eratosthenes, measuring angles on the surface of Earth, having nothing to do with curvature, going back and forth for hours. And I found this with Ethereum now. They come out when they finally realise the rebuttal I get is, you obviously don't know math. You don't know your mathematics. That, you know, and then they don't want to talk about it anymore. When you just explained explicitly how we're using the surface of Earth and measuring elevation angles to the sun, which is an angle measurement, nothing to do with curvature. You know, that's what we're measuring on the surface of Earth. Yeah, nothing to do with curvature measurements. We're measuring angles, but you don't know math.
Yeah,
that came later. Yeah.
Yeah, but one deck, you got to remember, keep this in mind. Look how long we whistled right past it. It was right in front of us for years. We whistled right past it. Now, I don't think they're doing it ignorantly. I think that there's just so much pride with them, they won't come to terms with it being flat. They need their ball. They need to be right. And you're going to have a hard time in life if that's the case. When you're wrong, you just, hey, I was wrong. I obviously can see that everything they've done, the circumference of the earth, the Eratosthenes, the freaking shadows, everything is acquired with flat earth.
Yeah. I remember Nathan summed it up in a show a few months ago, the way he explained it. Is that they know that they're measuring it flat. They're explaining how they measure it flat. They've even been to so-called Antarctica and measured it flat for us. But in their brainwashed mind, which might be no fault of their own, I don't know, then they know that they're doing that, but we're still doing it from the globe. You know, because it is a globe, it has to be a globe because we live on a globe. We know we're measuring it flat and using horizontal and elevation angles, but, you know, this just works on a globe because it has to. But Nathan explained it in a way a bit ago, and I understand exactly what he meant. It's embedded that much in the brainwashing that it's impossible for them to let it go until they get to some point, probably, of us repeating ourselves and going over it, probably.
Yeah, so you have to put them in a position where they've got a difficult choice to make. Do you want to accept the flat Earth measurement you utilise, like, for instance, the elevation angle on screen now? Or do you want to deny the flat Earth elevation angle you'll use to believe in a ball? Which one is it? Okay, you want to deny the flat Earth elevation angle you need to measure to believe you're on a ball. Okay, Bye-bye Earth curve maths. Bye-bye horizontal plane of reference at vernal equinox. Bye-bye. You don't want to measure that anymore. Okay, bye-bye. What's that? You haven't got anything left anymore. That's it. That's the end of your religion. Completely destroyed. You don't have anything to believe in. There's no ball. There's no measurements and nothing. Oh, you do want to utilise that flat Earth measurement of an elevation angle to Polaris. Get on your knees and acknowledge how flat Earth is being measured. Yeah. So big and flat and measured that way. That's right, yeah. You're measuring a flat Earth. What's that? Locally? Yeah, locally big and small and big and flat. All at once, yeah. Okay, dum-dum. We understand, you understand, everyone understands. It's flat. What's that you say? Because it's a ball? You're an idiot. That's where we're at. You telling me that we've measured it locally flat because it's so big, because it's a really big ball, is you a delusional muppet with a religion? Brainwashed to the point where you're telling me it's so big, we measure it flat. Locally, in a small scale, measured flat. For how big it is locally flat, because it's a ball. That's what you're telling us at this stage in the discussion. Not debate, the discussion where we tell you how flat we measure Earth and you tell us how bally it is because you measure it flat.
Well,
Yeah,
they're not telling us, but they're not telling us how bally it is. They're telling us how flat it is. The measurement is a flat Earth elevation angle measurement. They're admitting that. They go to so-called Antarctica and they display how they're doing that with visuals. You know, leveling the scales and measuring shadows and angles on the ice bed. You know, they've shown us how it's measured flat. They don't ever tell you how curved it is, because it's not.
Yeah, because they're dealing with reality. I think that's very important what Nathan just said. It's not a debate. That's how we need to go in from now on. This is not a debate. This is a statement of facts that we're laying down here. So stop calling it a debate. It is a statement of fact.
Yep. And I think it's great.
And you
that,
can't measure
like
a
I said,
curve where there is none.
Say again?
Sorry, mate.
Well, you can't measure a curve where there is none. Maybe that's their problem.
Yeah, but what have they been measuring? Well, they've been measuring a flat Earth the whole time.
Yeah.
Statement of fact.
And this is what we're saying the other day. You don't have to. You can. We're at a point where we don't have to go through any nonsense anymore. Talking about Coriolis and gravity. That's because all that, you know, all that in their fantasy land is presupposing that they live on a globe. Okay, then, how did you measure it? Let's have a look at the Earth curve calculator, shall we? That you're explaining how Newtonian gravity works and Coriolis. How was it measured? Well, I use surface level and eye level parallel. Well, that's got nothing to do with curvature. That's a flat Earth elevation angle measurement. What are you talking about?
Stop them right at surface level, right?
Yep.
Yeah, even the video went over from 9 years. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I just want to say I'm quite enjoying this idea of being a globe believer and kind of exuberant about it to explain to them their model, because at the same time, it's not a direct, there's no debate anymore. So essentially, you can celebrate their belief while explaining to them how it's done. And then that's that. If they're curious.
Who's speaking? Yes, was that ventriloquism? Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, ventriloquorum.
Ventriloquorum. Yeah. I was waiting for next man in line to pick up while I was putting down. You are that next man. Yeah. So you can... I was trying to smile about it while I was doing it in the show, thinking someone's going to pick up on this eventually. Right? I want you, personally, to do exactly that. Lean into, I'm on your side. I just want to help you. I'm a bull believer too. And as a bull believer, I understand how Earth is measured flat to create that ball that we all believe in. Isn't that nice? It's really big and flat when we measure Earth to believe we're inside it. Yeah? Let me explain how we measure angles to these stars like Polaris. See these lines on your ball? They're called latitude lines. You ever heard of those? Yeah? Well, they get measured with a star called Polaris off a flat Earth with these elevation angles. It's the basis of this ball we're believing in. Maybe you'd like to understand how the parallel sky gets measured for the angles to all these stars so we can plot the ground positions with maps that are all flat for the linear scale of miles, written on all those maps that we use to measure daily our distances on a flat Earth. Now, that's how we functionally utilise the flat Earth we measure, but, like you, I like believing we're on a ball too. I mean, on a ball's a bit of a stretch. I understand that we're going to be in the ball at vernal equinox, describing how that equatorial plane moves around the sun with a ball wrapped around us from hell. Because I like to believe in a ball properly, because I understand it properly. You don't. I used to be like you, bless you. An inferior globe believer. But I'm going to educate you on how we can be on a plane, in a ball, moving around the sun. I'll educate you on how to believe in a ball better. We'll start by understanding how Earth gets measured flat. To create the ball, to be in the ball, to later say we're on it incorrectly. Once we all understand how we measure Earth flat, to create the ball to be in, to move around the sun, we'll all happily coexist together, believing in the ball together. Because we're all the same. We're all the same boat. You, me, Toon, McKeegan. It's just some of us are a bit slower to appreciate how Earth gets measured to create the ball. Some of us say things like, we're on a ball, like McKeegan and Toon. They're idiots. Now, me, I'm a learned ball believer. I understand how Earth gets measured, how we are in a ball, not on a ball when we describe ourselves moving around the sun from an equatorial plane at vernal equinox. I understand this stuff. Yeah? Now, I'm helping Toon as a fellow globe believer. I'm helping McKeegan, who's stupid, doesn't understand how Earth gets measured. Now, I'm doing these people a favour, and they'll thank me. Yeah? Because they're on my side. They'll love me for it. They'll love me telling them how Earth gets measured flat. Toon's already done it. I've told him 101 times as a flat earther. This time's different. This time I'm telling him as a fellow globe believer. And feel free to trim this out and send it on its way. As a fellow globe believer, I and Toon together, we measure elevation angles of a flat Earth. Together, shoulder to shoulder. Mentally, I was with Toon when he measured those flat Earth elevation angles in Antarctica. Verbally, I was actually with him on the end of a phone, wasn't I? Bless. Little did he know that in 6 short months, I'd be calling myself a globe believer and educating him on how those flat Earth elevation angle measurements he used in Antarctica get used to create a ball for us to believe we're in, not on. So they'll all thank me as their latest globe-believing brother, won't they?
You sounded like Fagin in there. It was good on that.
Bacon?
Listen, they're like...
I got to pick a bucket or two.
Hey, they're like globe believers, and we're the true globers. Because we know where that globe came from. Yeah? We know exactly where that globe came from. Came
So
from
did they.
elevation angle measurements to the stars and the luminaries using a horizontal plane of reference. Yeah, we're the true globers.
True globe believers. Yeah? I mean, I might believe in something tomorrow. That's different. I mean, that's the thing with beliefs. You can take them or leave them. But understanding them implicitly, that takes time. That takes education. they'll get there in the end. We used to be where Toon and Keegan used to be, or are now, right? Well, that's where we used to be. We know better now. We'll help them. We'll help them along. We'll make them better globe believers. See this on screen? We'll discipline them in what Toon measured. Yeah, we'll take Toon's measurements specifically. We'll put the word Toon at the top of them, with all the little numbers of angles with a little circle after. Yeah, we'll line them all up with diagrams next to each and every one of them. Just like this one. Yeah? We'll diagrammatically depict what Toon measured off a flat earth so that everyone can learn what Toon measured. And then we'll show them this. How we're in a ball. Can you see how we're in the ball for this angle? Can you see that, boys? We'll discipline you in how this works. For you to believe you're on a ball like we do. We just believe better than you. We know better how to understand a ball. And we'll discipline Keegan in how the flat earth gets measured to create this ball for him and I to believe in together. Just him being a bit less educated on the flat earth that gets measured and me being a bit more learned. He'll have to be a bit humble about how he doesn't quite understand how a ball actually works. Same goes for Toon. Same goes for Jaron. These people aren't quite there yet after, 10 years of learning how the ball works. I am a better ball believer than they. But they all wanted me to be a ball believer. They wanted this, didn't they? They all basically begged me to be a ball believer. Well, that's all right. I'll believe it. I'll believe it. And thanks to you guys, I mean, really, you're the motivation behind this. I can discipline you in how Earth gets measured to create it. Toon's already done the hard work for me. Down in Antarctica. That's a bit of a misnomer. But when we get to the advanced understanding of the equatorial plane at vernal equinox, they too will understand how to glurf like I glurf. A better kind of glurf. Yeah? Better than McKeegan. Better than Jaron. Better than Toon. Because we understand this on screen. Now, when they understand the flat plane we measure inside this ball at vernal equinox, when they understand that, they'll be able to glurf as well as we can glurf, won't they? With the flat earth measurements that they then understand implicitly, because we've told them about them 101 times. Right, Toon?
So then who's the president of this? It's got to be Brian, because he's the one that pointed it out in his so-called debate with Toon, when Toon held it up. So I nominate Brian, the president of this club of ballers that we now have.
Yeah, the flat earth is inside you like it's inside your globe earth at vernal equinox.
You're funny, Nathan. Boy, you can take anything and twist the knife, can't you?
No knife to twist. There's a flat plane like a piece of bread to be buttered. Buttered gently, caressed even. With its buttery goodness.
Please, Nathan. Can I have some more flat elevation angle measurements, please?
Get on your knees and acknowledge how flat that porridge is.
You couldn't even get it out one deck. You started laughing.
Right,
Please, sir, I have some more.
Some more flat earth. Right, I'm going to round out though. With that, I'm going to say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.